right, let's go to page 109 in grammar, 109. Let me get this in focus here. Okay. We know about adjectives. We've been talking about those for a while now. But today we're going to talk about possessive adjective, and it's still an adjective. An adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. That's its job. And it tells which one, what kind, how many, or whose. That's what an adjective does. So I know some students get stuck on adjectives because they're hard to spot sometimes. In the homework, it's best to find the nouns first and then look at the nouns, see what they are. Is it a person or a thing? And then find something that tells which one or what kind, how many, or whose. That's the best way to find those adjectives. So when a noun is followed by an apostrophe S, it functions as a possessive adjective and shows ownership. It answers the question whose. So look at this example here. Robin marveled at the stranger's skill. Notice that word stranger, that without the S would be a noun, right? It's a person, a stranger. But since it has that apostrophe S right there, that changes it. It's not a noun. It's not functioning as a noun anymore. It's functioning as an adjective telling whose skill it is. The skill belongs to the stranger. So the noun, and that's basically what this paragraph says right here. Without the apostrophe, the noun will be plural. So there are not several strangers. Without the apostrophe, it'd be more than one stranger. But with the apostrophe, it changes it to an adjective and is telling whose, whatever it is after that. So jump down here. Basically, what you're going to do in this book is put in the apostrophe when it needs it or take it out when it doesn't need it because they'll mess up on that on purpose just for you guys. So if it's supposed to be a plural noun and it has an apostrophe, then you'll remove that apostrophe. If it's supposed to be telling whose as an adjective, you'll put in the apostrophe and label it ADJ for adjective. So this one says the stranger whoa, let me try that again. The stranger dodged Robin's blow. So the blow belonged to Robin, and a blow is like a punch to the face. So obviously there's a fight going on here, but anyway, that's what that is. So look out for those. And then we're going to talk about this. This is a little different. Well, it's talking about plural versus possessive. So um, many words, as you already know, can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. And remember, parts of speech are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, all the things that we mark in this book. Those are those are called parts of speech. And like we've been talking all this time, some words are different depending on how it's used in the sentence. So that's what they want you to be aware of. That's why English is so hard to learn. Other languages have one word for one thing and it's one meaning, and you don't have to wonder. It's just a lot easier. In English, it changes. So that's what's hard. So here's a plural noun example. The foresters mocked Robin. Notice the S at the end of foresters. That means there's more than one. It's plural. But check this out. Possessive adjective. The forester's mockery angered Robin. This time it has an apostrophe. It's not plural anymore. It's one forester, and the mockery belonged to that forester. So it changes it. Just that little tiny mark, little apostrophe, changes the function of the word. And that's what they want you to pay attention to. All right, let's go on to the practice page here. Page 111. How about Camila? Go ahead and read this sentence when you're ready.
Quickly, Robin approached his adversary on the bridge. He dodged the stranger's staff and then returned a blow to the stranger's head.
Good. A lot of fighting going on right here. This word is adversary. That's how you say that one, adversary. So an adversary is like your opponent. and someone who opposes or attacks. So an adversary is on the opposite side, right? They're against you. So adversary, and it's a basically a person. So it's going to be a noun in this sentence. Okay, so four articles, go ahead and find those. Okay, and when you're ready, JC, go ahead and find the six nouns.
Robin,
Good.
adversary,
Yes, good.
bridge,
Yep.
head,
Yes.
staff,
Yes.
blow,
Yes. Blow is one. Got them all? One, two, three, four. Oh, yeah, we got them all. Five, six. Good job. Blow is one. Now, blow is one of those words, obviously, that can change depending on how it's used, because it could be blow, make sure you blow out your candles. That's a verb, but this one is a blow. So that changes it to a noun because of that article right here. So that is a punch, like I said earlier. So Caden, what about the pronoun?
He
Good. And then since that was so short, how about you do the adjectives too? So look at those nouns and look for which one, how many, what kind, or whose.
is
Good. His is an adjective.
strangers,
Yep. And it already has the apostrophe, so that's showing that.
and then is it strangers again?
It is, and that one's missing the apostrophe, right? It needs to go right here before the S, and you're right. That is another adjective. It's describing whose head it is. Okay, good. That was it. And then the adverbs. How about William on those? Where are the adverbs?
Quickly.
Quickly is one. Yep.
Then.
It is. We need to fix that. We probably should have fixed that first, right? So how should we spell it?
T-H-E-N.
There we go. T-H-E-N. Remember we talked about then and than last time where if you're using than, you're comparing two things, right? But this is then. This is telling what happened next. And you're right, that is an adverb because it's telling when. Then. Okay, good. The coordinating conjunction, Camila?
And.
Good. And then since that was so short, how about you do the verbs next? Let's skip down there.
Dodged
Say it again. Oh, dodged. Yes, dodged.
and approached.
And approached. Good. There's one more actually.
Return.
Yep. Those are pretty easy. Those are all actions. They have ed endings. It's pretty easy to spot. And then the subjects, JC, what are the subjects?
Robin,
Good.
he,
And he. So there's only two, just a little reminder here, because this throws some students off where it says two subject verb pairs. It just means there's two subjects, but there might be more verbs like in this sentence. So don't stop at two just because it says two. You got to check. So that's right. But there are two subjects and you got both of those. All right. How about the main clauses, Caden? Where are the main clauses?
Wait, what are those again? I just
Yeah, that's okay. Main clauses are a group of words that completes a thought. It has to have a subject verb pair and it has to be a complete thought. I will tell you that this opener right here quickly is not included in the main clause. It's separate than that. So
is it Robin approached his adversary?
And then it keeps going.
On the bridge.
Yeah, on the bridge. That's right. And then what's the other main clause?
He dodged to head.
To head. Yep, the rest of that sentence. That's right. Very good. Let's see. Those are the main clauses. How about, oh, we did coordinating. Oh, we didn't do. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. Okay. We have prepositional phrases next. So, William, where are the prepositional phrases?
To the stranger's head
To the stranger's head, good.
and on the bridge.
And on the bridge, good. And then openers, Camila?
Quickly.
Quickly, that's the first opener. What number is that one?
3.
Yes, and then I guess we need to put in a period before we label the next one. Do you know where the period goes? I mean, there's
Right after bridge.
right after bridge. Yes, because we got two main clauses in a row and then one here. So what is that opener?
Subject 1.
Very good. Yes, a one. Good. All right. And then we got, let's see, we did the apostrophe, we did the usage, we did the end marks, comma. What do you think, JC? Where is that comma going to go? Or do we take one out? What do we do?
We take one out.
Yes, and I guess there's only one in here, the one after staff.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I think too. Good. Because it's only listing two things that he did. He dodged and returned. So, and then capitals, you guys can find those. Robin, he. Okay, good. Any questions about today's practice page or any homework pages that you have? Okay, good. Nice job. All right, let's go to our history books. This is we're shifting gears here. By the way, you guys finished up Lusitania, by the way. And that was pretty interesting and pretty tragic, that whole event. But does anybody want to share your paper that you wrote about Lusitania? JC and Camila, yay, good. Let's have JC, you can go first, and then Camila, do you guys have it with you, or do you need me to pull it up for you? What do you think, JC?
Can you please pull mine up on the screen?
I sure can. How about you, Camila? You want me to find
Thank-
yours too?
I have mine here.
Okay, good. Let me get JC's first. And then I'll share. Make it a little bigger. Okay, there you go, whenever you're ready.
The British flag. In 1906, the Lusitania was a truly luxurious British ship. The Lusitania was once the largest traveler ship on the planet because it carried over 3,048 passengers and was 787 feet long. An ancient Roman province, which was located in Western Europe, was what the vessel was named after. Ultimately, the ship held the record for the quickest travel across the Atlantic Ocean in 1908. John Brown was the builder of the Lusitania, while, Le- while Leonard Petsket was the designer. Swift turbines powered the ship. They included prominent naval vessel features for the Lusitania to have a better turn. Germany and Britain were rivals during World War One. At the time, the waters of Britain were announced as a war zone by Germany. In 1914, World War One had begun. The British transported imperative resources for the war by using their shipping lanes. The British were able to keep the German Navy strictly aligned, even though Germany tried to control their shipping lanes. The Germans used their submarines to attack other vessels, which caused the waters around Britain to change. Because there were still submarines in the British waters, the Lusitania was given instructions on how to avoid them. Ultimately, many newspapers were spread about by Germany about the ships in the British flag being at risk.
Nice. And there's your bibliography. Wow. Really, really amazing, JC. I really like that. You did incredible. Nice job. I saw all your topic clenchers, your dress ups, and there were a couple things that stood out to me, like swift turbines powered the ship, the ship. That was a really clever sentence. I like how you put that. And those little VSS sentences are so cool. It's like they give a little pow. I don't know if you guys have noticed that when you do your writing and then you read it back like that. It's like it stands out to me. So well done. I really, really like that. I like how you use that word imperative. That was a good one. Very good, JC. So neat to because all of you guys have been with me for a few years now, and it's so exciting to me as your teacher to it almost makes me want to cry, honestly, in happy tears, just to see how far you guys have come. It's like it's just incredible. I'm blessed to okay, I'll stop because I don't want to start crying. Really, seriously. Good job, you guys. Okay, Camila, whenever you're ready. Oh, that's okay. I see your note. It's okay. Don't worry about that.
The tragic story of the Lusitania and German warnings. During World War I, Germany and Britain were enemies. Later on, Germany declared Britain's waters a war zone because they did not want to risk any ship delivering weapons to Britain. Although the German embassy, who advertised in American newspapers, claimed that they would not hesitate to attack any ships that passed through there, the passengers still boarded. Surely they thought that they would not be cruel enough to attack a luxury cruise ship with several ordinary people. The Lusitania would soon become an important event in World War I against Germany. The tragic sinking of Lusitania. On May 7, 1915, when the Lusitania was returning to Liverpool, England, near the coast of Ireland, the ship was attacked by a German submarine with a torpedo. A large explosion was heard. The captain, who was named William Turner, ordered that the ship cruise on over to the Irish coast, but it was no use, and within a few minutes he ordered that everyone abandon ship. Within 20 minutes, the ship had sunk. Approximately 750 people died, and 1,000 people died because many struggled to get off the quickly sinking Lusitania.
Nice. Excellent. That's a really good one too. I really like that, Camila. I really liked how you used the word surely. That's a good one. I always forget about that ly adverb. That was well said right there. And then that sentence, a large explosion was heard. That was your VSS, huh? A large
Um,
explosion, or was it just an extra sentence you had
it
in
was
there?
the tragic sinking of Lusitania because I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
realize I had that VSS, so I put that one and I was like, wait,
I
no.
like that too. No, I like that. But I like your other sentence too, where you said a large explosion was heard. So that kind of gave it more of a like a visual, for people to imagine hearing an explosion like that. So, and then you did well describing the sinking of it and how they were abandoning ship and all that. That was really well said, Camila. I like yours too. Really. Good job. It's so cool. Like I said, it's just so cool. So I just want to keep sharing our writing with each other because I don't know about you, but it totally blesses me to hear you guys read it. And hopefully you get inspired by hearing your other friends in here share their papers too. So, all right. We are going to talk about the Statue of Liberty today, which is pretty cool. I like this one. This is a good one. We're going to start. This is a shift in style of writing. We're going to go to page 198 first. We're shifting gears here. We've been writing references, like summarizing multiple references. You guys did a little research with the Lusitania, which was cool. This is back to inventive writing, which is it's similar to when we wrote about pictures, okay? We don't have pictures this time, but it's the same style in the sense that you ask yourself questions and you come up with your facts or your details. They're not really facts like a research paper, but you're going to think of the details to put in your own paper from yourself. So this is called inventive writing. It's up here, Unit 7. So in Unit 7, you will write compositions that begin with an introduction and end with a conclusion. And so we're going to look at a 5-paragraph model here. We've done this before in past classes, but we're going to bring this back. And a 5-paragraph model has the 3 body paragraphs in the middle. This would be where your topics are: topic A, topic B, topic C. And then you've got an introduction and a conclusion. If you remember last year, we would do the body paragraphs first and then the conclusion. And the very last thing you do is the introduction. We're going to do the same format this year. And the reason is the introduction is probably the hardest paragraph to write. But once you're done with everything else, it's easy. It comes to you because you know now what your paper is saying. And basically, the introduction says, this is what I'm going to tell you. And then the body paragraphs tell you. And then the conclusion paragraph is, this is what I just told you. So if you think of it that way, this is what I'm going to tell you. And then this is what I am telling you. And then this is what I just told you. And it sounds like you're repeating, and you are. But that's the format of this 5-paragraph essay because in your brain, and it's weird, but in our brains, when we repeat things, and especially if we hear it in a different way, but you're saying the same thing, it really solidifies it in your brain. So it helps you remember, it helps you understand what the paper is about. All those things are good. So that's the format we're going to use with these upcoming papers. So this is basically, let's jump down here to the paragraph that says sometimes. Sometimes you are given a prompt and asked to write a response. Where do you find the information for your paper? So if it's a research paper, you'll look online, you'll look at books like you did for Lusitania, but this is a little bit different. This is your response. So this is like how you think. This is you, okay? Not the internet, not books, not encyclopedias, not articles. This is you. When learning to write from the blank page is what we call it, like it's all in your head. One technique to help you develop content is to ask yourself questions. In Unit 5, when you wrote from a series of pictures, you began with brain helping questions. You will again use the same questions in Unit 7. The ability to ask questions and develop answers is the core skill required for all inventive writing. So this is also critical thinking. And like I've shared with you before, asking yourself questions triggers thinking in your brain. It could be something as simple as your stomach is growling and you're thinking, what am I going to eat after class, right? That's simple. It could be you hear your dog barking outside. What is your dog barking at? What's outside? Why is she barking? And so those are simple ones, but there's more complicated ones like when you hear something or you see something and you don't know what it means or what it really is. That's more deeper level thinking where you analyze and critically think inside your head, why is this person saying this? And where is he getting his information? And what does it mean? Those are so good for you guys to practice in your head because a lot of times students, especially young people, they just believe everything they hear. They believe everything they say, even adults. And it's super important for you all to learn how to think for yourself, not just believe everything, especially now that we have AI and we've got Chat GPT and we've got all this crazy stuff going on now. That's not real. And to develop this part of your brain is super crucial for you as you're growing up in this age where technology is just taking off. It's just crazy. So I'll get off my soapbox now. I just want to make sure you guys know, thinking and asking yourself questions and then talking to people you trust that you know tell the truth, like your parents, then they're the ones that you would go to for help in answering questions. At your age, that's the best source for you, to go to people you trust and people you know. The prompt here, this is what we're going to talk about today. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to America. The statue symbolizes the freedom and opportunity for which America is known. Standing in the New York Harbor, she holds a torch in one hand and the Declaration of Independence in the other. Broken chains lie at her feet. Lady Liberty represents the hopes and dreams of a bright future for many immigrants who have come to America since 1886. And then here's your prompt, and we're going to talk about this again, but it just says, what hopes and dreams do you have for your future? Write about 2 things you hope to do or accomplish in either the near or far future. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but I want to go back to the Statue of Liberty. This is cool. I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, but this year, 2026, is America's 250th anniversary of being an independent nation. Remember the Declaration of Independence? That's what they signed at the end of the war, and they won the war against Britain and France. And they won the war at that time in 1776 and signed that Declaration of Independence. And now it's 2026. So if you do the math, 1776 to 2026 is 250 years. So this is like a big milestone for our country this year. So the Statue of Liberty is holding the Declaration of Independence. It's pretty cool. So I have a quick video I want to share with you about the Statue of Liberty. It's just neat. I just love America. You guys know that. Let me pull this up real quick. And it's such an honor and just really special to live here and to live during this time. You guys are living through an amazing time of celebration for our country. So, oops, I think I forgot to share the sound. Hold on a second. Make sure I got that. There we go.
Located in New York Harbor, the Statue of Liberty is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. But what is it doing there? And where did it come from? Officially called Liberty Enlightening the World, the Statue of Liberty was a gift to America from the French in 1886 as a representation of international friendship. But its story really began more than 20 years earlier in 1865, when Frenchman Edouard de la Boulaye proposed that France should create a monument for the United States. It would be a long time before La Boulay's dream was realized. It wasn't until 10 years later that the sculptor Auguste Bartholdi was commissioned to design the statue. The American people agreed to pay for the pedestal for the statue to stand on, while the French people would fund the Statue of Liberty itself. But raising enough money was difficult. The statue was completed in France in 1884, almost 10 years after it was commissioned, but the pedestal wasn't finished for another 2 years in April of 1886. The statue was transported in 350 individual pieces, which were packed in 214 separate crates. Once the pedestal was completed, it took 4 months to reassemble the statue. Finally, on October 28, 1886, President Grover Cleveland dedicated the Statue of Liberty, an event celebrated by bands, parades, speeches, and fireworks. The Statue of Liberty quickly became a famous landmark. For many immigrants who came to the United States through New York, it was their first sight of their new country. For others, it symbolized the idea of freedom that America was built on. The statue depicts a woman in a robe, representing Libertas, the Roman goddess of liberty. She has a crown on her head with 7 points, said to represent the 7 seas or the 7 continents of the earth. She is holding a stone tablet in one hand, which reads July 4th, 1776 in Roman numerals, honoring the date of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. In her other hand, she holds high a flaming torch covered in gold leaf. The Statue of Liberty itself is covered in a layer of copper less than 2 pennies thick. Originally, the statue was the same bright copper color as a new penny, but after less than 20 years of standing out in the sun and the rain, the copper began to oxidize, turning her the green color we recognize today. The statue weighs 450,000 pounds, or 225 tons, and stands over 151 feet or 46 meters high, not including the pedestal she stands on. With the pedestal, from the ground to the tip of the torch, the Statue of Liberty stands as tall as a 22-story building. About 4 million people visit the Statue of Liberty every year. Those who go inside it can see a poem by Emma Lazarus, written to help raise money for the construction of the pedestal. It reads in part, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." Now nearly 130 years old, the Statue of Liberty has long been a symbol of hope and welcome to people seeking freedom and a new life in America, as well as a symbol of the friendship between France and the United States. It is now also a World Heritage Site, which means that it is considered so special and important that it should be protected and preserved for people all around the world to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Statue of Liberty today. Goodbye till next time.
Okay. So, and I just wanted to clarify, remember when we read about the shot heard around the world in Lexington, and that was the beginning of the Revolutionary War between America and Britain. And then we won that war, but France helped us with that by sharing military supplies and soldiers. And so that was the beginning of our relationship with France, was during that Revolutionary War time, because they helped us. And then later years, we helped France. So there was a friendship there. And that was a gift to America from France. Pretty cool. But basically, the symbolism of the Statue of Liberty is obviously freedom, but it's also hope for our country. And it offers hope to immigrants who come across the ocean from other countries to be able to be welcomed into America. And as you know, there's a process to become a citizen in America, and that is something that we have in place. And it's important that people know that they're welcome to come here. As long as they come through the appropriate ways, they will find freedom, they will find jobs, they will find prosperity and all that good stuff. So, all right. So, let me go to our book again. We're going to start brainstorming some ideas on dreams, hopes and dreams that you have. It could be maybe a place that you want to go someday that you've never been. Maybe you want to go see the Statue of Liberty. Maybe you want to go to Japan someday, or see another country, or it could be something like what you want to be when you grow up. Maybe you have an idea of what kind of a career you want to have, or maybe it could be something in sports. If you're in sports or dance or something that you're learning, music, that you want to just improve at that, and you want to be famous or just really talented in what you're working on, things like that. So start thinking about a topic or a subject for yourself that you want to achieve, or a hope that you have. So this is a little bit about the format. I'm just going to explain this quickly. So in this paper, you're going to have 2 topics. So we're going to start off with just 2 paragraphs. So if whatever topics, whatever it says, how many topics you have, that's going to equal how many paragraphs you write. So that's true in any assignment, just to be aware of that. But let's see. Let's jump to this paragraph right here where it says the prompt. The prompt for this lesson assigned the subject. Wait, hold on. The prompt for this lesson assigned the subject of your paper, your hopes and dreams. That's the subject. That's the main part of your paper. Because the prompt directs you to write about two things you hope to do or accomplish, you will write 2 paragraphs. Each paragraph will be about a specific hope or dream. The topic sentence of each paragraph will state the specific hope or dream that you have. Begin by writing your topics on the Roman numeral lines of the keyword outline. Follow this pattern. So this is how you'll follow the pattern next to the Roman numeral like we've been doing. Your hopes and dreams, whatever that hope or dream is, and that's or actually hope and dreams is the subject. And then whatever that hope or dream is the topic. And then one more word about the topic. When choosing a topic, consider what you might like to do or places you might like to visit. Think also about goals you would like to reach in school, sports, hobbies, or other extracurricular activities. Do you know what occupation you may pursue when you grow up? How do you picture your life as an adult? Those are some things to think about. And down here, this is that part where you're going to start thinking and coming up with some details to help you come up with the sentences you want to use in your paragraphs. So it says here, who might be part of my hope or dream? When would I like to accomplish it? What must I do now or in the future in order to accomplish it? Why do I want to do it? How can I prepare? Where will I be? What will I see, hear, and feel? What will I do, think, and feel? So these are questions. I want you to come back to this page when you're thinking about your details of your paragraphs. These questions are going to help you come up with those. All right, so let's turn over to the keyword outline page here. And they gave you a nice handy dandy list of questions here. But first, does anybody have any thoughts and ideas going yet about what you might want to write about? So you're going to think of 2 different things. So it could be a dream of being an NFL football star, or it could be a dream of being in the Olympics. It's pretty cool to watch the Olympics now. Maybe you do gymnastics or dance and someday you want to make it to the Olympics. Or it could be just to someday be married and have children and have a family of your own. So does anybody have any ideas yet on what your hopes and dreams are that you want to write about here? Yes, JC, what do you think?
I've always wanted to like travel around the world with my family and like go to Japan and stuff like that.
I love that. That's a great one. That's one. That's so you could write that could be one paragraph about traveling the world with your family. What about, have you thought about a second one yet? Or are you still working on that? Not yet. Okay, keep thinking. Kaden, what do you think?
I want to learn Japanese maybe, so then I can go to Japan.
Awesome. And you wrote about Japan. I think was it? Yeah, I remember you writing about Japan. Was that last year? I think you did. Yeah. That's cool. I remember that. Awesome. How about William or Camelia? Have you guys thought of maybe a hope or dream you have yet? William?
I want to be rich.
You want to be rich? That'd be nice, huh? Have you thought about how to get there? Like how you would become rich? Do you have any ideas on that? Not yet? Think about some people that you know or you've heard about that are rich now, and think about what they do, like how they got there. Maybe you could try to do something similar to that. And by the way, you guys, this doesn't mean that you have to do these things, okay? This is just a practice for you thinking about your future and your hopes and dreams. And it's going to change. I know it will because you're young and over the years, your hopes and dreams, they change and that's okay. So just try to imagine what it would, what you would hope or dream of. It doesn't have to be, you could even make something up if you wanted to. That's okay too. Yes, Camila.
Run in the Olympics.
Oh, cool. Like run, you like okay, awesome. That would be cool, like in a running race. That would be cool to do that. So you must enjoy running. Yeah. Are you already doing it as a sport, like on a track and stuff, or you just run for fun?
We run with the club at the park.
Oh, cool. So you're already training on how to run a long time. That is good. That is really good exercise for your heart, for your body, and how cool to be in the Olympics. That would be an awesome dream. And William,
I want to see the World Cup.
you want to actually see the World Cup? Like go to the actual game? That would be cool. I watch it sometimes. I'm not a big soccer fan, but my father-in-law is, and he's from Bolivia. So he is like it's like a big deal for him to watch the World Cup. So whenever we go to his house during that time, we watch it with him. But all right, so on your outline here, you're gonna either put the word hope or dream here. I'm gonna put hope or dream. You can decide which word you want to use there first. Then your next word is going to be what that is. So if it's traveling the world, you could put travel and then draw a little world because you're going to need one more word here. So if it's going to Japan, you could put Japan here, or if it's Olympics or whatever, World Cup. Yes, William.
I just forgot to put my hand down.
Oh, okay. And then this word is going to be one more word about that. Like maybe future. It could be, you could put an amount of years. Your goal is in an amount of years, like within 10 years or within 1 year or 6 months or whatever it is. Like this part you can just think of in your head. Okay. So another word about whatever this dream or hope is here. And then I'm going to give you a few minutes. We'll start with the first one. I'm going to give you a few minutes to think on your own. Remember, thinking requires asking yourself questions, and you can move up and down this list. You don't have to go in order. Think about who is with you. Like I know JC mentioned traveling the world with her family, so she would mention her family and like how they would travel and maybe what they hope to see when they go, what countries you think you might want to see, and just go through these questions here. Notice it says who, what, when, where, why, how. Those are the big six. How do you feel or how will you feel? Are there any problems that you might have along the way? Solutions? What do you think would be the best thing about doing that hope or dream? What is the value, significance, meaning, examples, and description? Okay, so I'm going to let you guys work by yourself for a minute. Go through these questions. Just jot down some notes, some keywords, symbols, numbers, and pictures, abbreviations. Those are all free. And let me know if you guys have any questions. one thing you can add, William, is like who you hope to see at the World Cup, like what countries you would like to see compete against each other. That could be something, or if you have a favorite player that you hope to meet, you can add that if you're trying to think of more details. Okay, go ahead and finish up with the word that you're on. I do want to give you some time to start thinking about the next one too. So, um, Roman numeral 3, this one, by the way, these are body paragraphs, so that's why it says 2 and 3. And then next week, we're going to write an introduction and a conclusion. So it's going to be a total of 4 paragraphs in a couple weeks. This week, you're just focusing on these 2 bodies, okay? So Roman numeral 3, if you have another hope or dream, and it can be something like similar, meeting someone or going somewhere, doing something special, or it could be your future career. Like at this point in your life, what do you dream of doing as an adult or a career that you might have in mind? Like maybe being a doctor or a scientist or um, something with technology. Maybe you want to be a design games or something with computers, something like that, or maybe you just want to be a mom someday. You like the idea of having kids someday or being a teacher. So those are ideas here. So you're going to do the same thing, use the word hope or dream, whichever one you want to use here, and then whatever that hope or dream is, and one more word about that. Yes, Kaden.
I have to go, but thank you.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. And I'm recording, so if you need to watch the tail end of this, you can. So we'll see you next week, Kaden.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
See
you're
ya.
welcome. Okay, bye-bye. I know I kept talking about being a mom, but I know we have some boys in here too, or being a dad. Maybe you want to be a dad someday. Um, so anyway, I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to kind of think about that. If anybody needs help with ideas, let me know, and then go through these questions and just start filling in some notes here. Okay, so you'll need to finish this later for part of your homework when you have some good thinking time. Um, just a little reminder, just make sure to go through those questions. If you get stuck on the details and you can't think of anything, go through those questions. And you can always talk to your parents or somebody else in your family. They might help you get some ideas. So go ahead and finish the word you're on, and let's flip over to 201. These are the three openers you're going to have again on your checklist: prepositional opener, ly opener, and the VSS, which happens to be my favorite. So you're pretty good at those. You can jot down some ideas here that you can use in your paper later. That always helps to think ahead on some of these things. But I want to jump down here to the strong verbs, ly adverbs, and quality adjectives, because these are on your dress up list. And I wanted to give you some good strong words that you could use, like venture. If you're writing about a place to go, venturing out, exploring something new, if it's a place or even just an idea, or desire, that's a good strong verb. If you desire to be a teacher someday, that's better than saying, I want to be a teacher someday. See how desire is like, it's more descriptive. And then maybe admire. Maybe if you're thinking of, like, I was thinking about yours, William, when you want to go see the World Cup, maybe you admire a player or a coach or someone who's, working on being the best at something. Those are some examples. There's another line here. You can add your own. Those are good, strong verbs. And then ly adverbs, maybe if you're talking about a career, diligently would be a good one to use. Zealously. Some of these are actually, I think zealously is actually one of your vocabulary words. Quality adjectives could be like stunning if you're talking about seeing landscape, like I'm thinking of JC's topic, stunning. Maybe someday you want to see the stunning aurora lights, like what's in Camila's background, in Australia or something like that would be so cool. I really want to see those in real life someday, personally. That would be so cool. And then maybe that word stupendous, that was one of our vocabulary words a while back. Okay, and then there's extra lines here as you think of them. Put them down to help you think ahead on how you want to use these in your paper. Let's turn the page to 202 next. Actually, yeah, 202 is a vocabulary, so let's peek at those really quick in the back. It's going to be lesson 20. So go to page, I think it's 232. I'm sorry, 323. Whoa, I got my numbers mixed up. Right here, lesson number 2. Espouse. To support or adopt a cause or theory. Espouse. Adverse, unfavorable or opposing one's desires. So adverse, you probably won't need that one in this paper. Aspire, this is a good one. Aspire is to long or aim for ambitiously, like I aspire to be a veterinarian someday, or I aspire to be an astronaut. I think someday it's going to be possible for people to just take a trip to Mars or the moon or something. So if that's something you think of doing someday, I think that will be possible someday. Or you aspire to be wealthy like William. When you have a lot of money, you have more options of things to do, right? That would be pretty cool. Lofty is exalted or superior. So lofty dreams are just really big dreams, right? Lofty. Here are the vocabulary words to choose from. However, if you find another vocabulary word in another lesson from the past, you can use one of those instead, but you need to have two vocabularies throughout your paper somewhere. It could be one in each paragraph, somewhere in your paper, two vocabulary words. So it can be from this lesson or it can be from the past. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. If you need more explanation on how to use these words, you can always look it up in a dictionary, or you can ask your parents to help you with that one. And then the last thing, I just want to just look at the checklist pretty quick here. You'll see it says paragraph 2 and 3. That's because it's the body. Like I said, you got your same dress ups here, and you've got 2 openers, prepositional, actually 3 openers, ly and vss. And then you still have your topic clinchers. Don't forget about that. And this might be a little tricky here. Don't use go, went. Well, you're not going to worry about say, said, good, bad, pretty, small, big. So watch out for especially go, went. It might be tempting to use those. All right, you guys, I hope you have fun with this one. It's kind of a little bit more creative style writing. You still need to include everything on your checklist. So have fun with it. I can't wait to hear about it. And then next week we'll add more paragraphs, introduction and conclusion. Bye, you guys. Have a good week.